And oh my god, 98% accuracy is a huge achievement for me, guys. So Stockfish says I made 0 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, and on top of that I played at 98% accuracy. So just in case you don't know what is happening, well, I'm simply testing my brand new E5 defense course by playing the lines that I covered in that course against real opponents in order to give you much confidence to try my E5 Dynamite. And don't forget, it's actually free, so you can find the link to my new E5 defense course in the comment section down below. Now it's time to play a game. By the way, the full analysis of this game will be added to my course so that I don't give out everything in this video. So let's go. Right, so here we go. Oh, I'm playing against a 2314 rated opponent. So I guess this will be the Italian opening. Oh, will this be the Ruy Lopez? Okay, yep. There we see the Ruy Lopez, the Spanish opening, or whatever you can call it. So what did I say in my E5 defense course? If I want, I can play the retreat variation where I just retreat my queen's knight back to B8. Can I play that? Or maybe I stick to my A6, D6 defense, which I covered in my new E5 defense course. So these are the lines that I expect to see on the board. Probably pawn to d4 in the near future, after which I'll play b5 and knight takes, then go for the Noah's Ark trap. So let me begin with pawn to a6 first, attacking the light squared bishop, and I guess bishop a4 is what my opponent is going to play. Yep, bishop takes c6 is a very rare line, so most advanced players just like keeping their bishop pair on the board. So after bishop a4, now I go d6. Now this looks like the Paris defense, right? If white's bishop was on c4, this would have been the Paris defense. Now we see pawn to d3. I didn't cover this move. The move I was expecting to see was pawn to d4, which I covered in my e5 defense course, after which I was going to play b5. So this is the importance of watching these follow-up videos, because it is in these kinds of videos where we try to fill the gaps that we leave in tutorial videos. So I was hoping to see the Noah's Ark trap as highlighted on the board. Anyways, white played pawn to d3, and as you can see, these pawns on the center look a little bit weird. I didn't cover this in my e5 defense course. What am I going to do? I guess I just have to go after that light squared bishop with pawn to b5. Yep, chasing that bishop away. After which, I can now go bishop e7 and knight to f6. Or maybe go after that light squared bishop, because it's the only active piece that white has, yes. So I can go knight a5 and immediately get rid of that active bishop, then go bishop e7 later on and knight to f6, then castle short. So let me go knight a5 first, getting rid of white's only active piece. There is no harm to do that. If bishop d5, I'm just going to play pawn to c6, by the way. So I like this move, knight a5. It's one move that most beginners and intermediate level players forget to play. So yep, knight a5. And there we see pawn to c3. Take. So knight takes b3. And then white takes with his a pawn, creating a semi-open file for his queen's rook. So the move to begin with is bishop e7. Same idea even in the Paris, where we prevent knight g5 or bishop g5 by white. So in these kinds of positions, bishop e7 looks more natural and logical as compared to knight to f6 first. Sometimes you can also play pawn to h6, or there we see bishop e3 by white. In fact, you know what? Because of that bishop, I can go pawn to f5. I remember covering this line also in my e5 defense course. So instead of knight to f6 and then I castle short, it's better I go pawn to f5 immediately. That's an aggressive way of, playing this line. So pawn to f5, and the idea is to go pawn to f4 if white doesn't do anything. So there we see pawn takes anyways. I expected to see that. And then I can just take with my light squared bishop, right? Or maybe develop my knight first. Well, let me just keep it so simple. Bishop takes. There's no knight h4 due to bishop takes. By the way, pawn to f5 makes a lot of sense if white doesn't have a light squared bishop. It now makes sense. Look at how beautiful my pawn structure is on the center. So you can see the direction of my pawns this is telling me that this is where I should focus my attack on the king side, especially in the middle game. In other words, you have to focus your attack where your pawns are pointing. Anyway, let's see what my opponent is up to. D4, you don't have to take because it just doesn't look right. See, if I take, I'm going to help white activate his queen or even his knight and then attack my light squad bishop. So I better go pawn to E4. Yeah, and that comes with an attack on the knight. So white has to play knight F, D2, I guess. Yep. So now I can fix my pawns on the center. So let me go pawn to D5. Yep. D5, and next I might even consider playing pawn to C6. Look at how I'm building up with my pawns. So I'm just playing with my pawns. Anyway, there we see pawn to C4. I don't believe in that, and I don't even have to take. I mean, I can just go pawn to C6. Yep. So just fixing my pawns, my pawn structure rather. If white takes on D5, I'm just going to take back with my C pawn, and I just removed that. So this is how we play chess, you guys. I'm just trying to gain as much space as I can on the center. I don't even know what my opponent is going to do at this point. So you just need to play good chess, and if you play good chess, it's not you who is actually going to checkmate your opponent. It's them who are going to make a mistake. It's them who are going to blunder in one way or another. So just play good chess. Okay, and there we see knight c3. I think, yeah, my d5 pawn is still safe because if pawn takes, I can still take back with my c pawn. So knight to f6, preparing to castle short. Not a big deal. So I just removed that in case white takes on d5 with his c pawn. So I guess they are just going to castle short because what else can they do? I don't know. Yep. So I guessed that right. Now I can castle short as well. So let's see what white is going to do. I mean, I don't know what else. The other moves that I'm thinking of are bishop d6, queen d7, and maybe I bring my rook, my a rook into the game. There we see h3. That's a weakness, you guys, because I can now see a long-term sacrifice on h3 if I align my queen with my light squad bishop, like if I play queen d7 or bishop d6 first. So let me go bishop d6, just controlling this diagonal, nothing much. In fact, my long-term plan is to put my queen in front of the bishop, like bishop c7 first and then queen d6 to create some mating possibilities there. And again, just in case white takes on d5, I have c takes d5, so I just removed that. So before my opponent plays, before my opponent makes his move, I'm trying to think ahead of him. I'm creating my own plans. And this is what you guys are supposed to be doing. It's not just about memorizing moves. In fact, this stage of the game is known as the middle game. We are already out of the opening stage. So we only memorize moves in the opening stage at worst. Otherwise, you need to learn how to improvise going forward. There we see pawn to f3. I don't see much happening here. What if I just play queen d7 to create some opportunities of sacrificing my light squad bishop on h3? Yeah, the h3 pawn just looks very weak. Yeah, I can sacrifice my bishop there, given a chance. And then if white takes on e4, I'll take back with my d pawn just to maintain my sacrifice opportunity. You know what I mean? So I think the right move here is queen d7, just aligning my queen with my bishop. So let me play queen d7. If f takes e4, I'll take back with my d pawn. Yep, and I just removed that. Now I'm still looking at the possibility to sacrifice my bishop on h3, given a chance. If pawn to d5, I'm going to play pawn to c5. There's tension on the center, so I need to be careful as well. One wrong move can cost my game. So let's see what white is going to do. Otherwise, I'm looking at bishop takes h3, sacrifice. And then I also have other moves like rook a e8, because my queen's rook is still doing nothing. Or maybe it's protecting my a6 pawn. so it's better where it is, but let's just see what white is going to do. Okay, there we see bishop g5. Bishop g5, what should I do next? My 23-14 rated opponent seems to know something as well, so I don't know what I'm going to do, but I think let me just play rook a e8. By the way, there's also an interesting line where I just advance my pawn. So rook a e8 first. So I'm protecting my e-pawn, and I'm looking at the move pawn to e3. Why? Here is why. Because if I just sacrifice my bishop on h3 when white's bishop is still on g5, maybe white would take on f6, either with his rook or the bishop first, and I just don't know what I should do here. The thing is, after bishop takes h3, I'm scared of rook takes f6, or maybe first of all, bishop takes f6. I mean, after I sacrifice my bishop on h3. So I should be very careful though. Say after bishop takes h3, there is rook takes f6. So you see what I'm doing? Thinking in my opponent's time. While my opponent is still thinking what to play, that's when I'm thinking. In fact, I'm also looking at pawn to e3, and after bishop takes, that will be a great deflection. That's when I can take on h3. Okay, now my opponent is running low on time, which is a very good sign. And at this point, I'm guessing my opponent is going to take on f6, which is why I have pre-moved rook takes f6. Let's see. My opponent is now taking time to play. I hope I'm not going to win on time. I don't want that to happen. Right, so I was again right with my prediction. So you guys also need to improve your prediction abilities. So pawn to e3 attacking the knight, and now I'm safe to I'm safe to sacrifice my bishop on h3. So bishop takes h3. Right. So now this is the way to do it, because if white takes my bishop, I'm just going to take with my queen, and I just removed that once again. There we see knight e5. I can just take that knight, right? Yeah, I think I can just take that knight with my bishop. So bishop takes e5, yep. Oh, I'm running low on time. Bishop takes e5. So pawn takes, yeah, pawn takes, and then can I take? Oh, there's rook a d1. So let me just go rook g6, attacking the pawn on g2. So the plan is just to kill white's queen. Yeah, I guess white is gonna lose the queen. So queen e7 first. I have queen h4 if need be. By the way, white played rook a d1. So there we see rook f3. Okay, rook f3. Now I can just take on g2 and then win the queen. So that's very easy. So the secret is to find the easiest continuation, you guys. Just get rid of your opponent's most active pieces and simplify the game if need be. So king f1. Now I can take the pawn on e5. So queen takes e5. Okay, king e2, I guess. Okay, I want to take the pawn on b2, but first I need to go b4. I guess knight a4 is coming. Yup. So, okay, I can go queen h2 check. I'm just trying to buy more time. Oh, okay, now white is officially dead because I have rook d8. Rook d8 wins white's rook on d1. So, now the game is over, officially over. Or maybe white is going to continue playing, I mean. Okay, there we see king e4, rook takes. There's no checkmate. Okay, now this is very easy. How am I going to checkmate my opponent? Maybe I should start with pawn to g6. Oh, my opponent just resigned. Anyway, so let's see what Stockfish has to say about this game. So here I scroll down, and oh my god, 98% accuracy is a huge achievement for me, guys. So Stockfish says I made 0 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, and on top of that I played at 98% accuracy. Let me scroll up. By the way, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I help you, you help me. And by the way, the opening that I used in this game against the Ruy Lopez is among the opening responses that I recommended in my brand new E5 defense course, which you guys must check out like right now if you really want to level up. And lastly, the full analysis of this game will be added to my E5 defense course so that I don't give out everything in this short video. So be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Patreon, which is my membership site by the way, and hope to see you soon in my next video. Until next time, bye bye.